Hey, what's up guys, Goat Boy here. Today we have Ghosts versus Royal Knights. So I start off by hatching Drazel, absorbing Drazel, and then we go and play the new Magnamon for 2. We draw 1, and it cannot be bottom decked. My opponent is going to draw for turn. He's going to hatch a Demi-Meramon, go into a Ghostmon. Now, I've never really played against this deck full power, so it's kind of interesting to see how it will play. He plays the Emblem to play out a Violet. I hatch Drazel and I absorb another Magnamon. Then I go ahead and play a Magnamon for free. We'll draw a card. And then to pass turn, we'll just play a Sistermon CL. And put him to his 3. He draws for turn. Thinking about promoting, the Ghostmon is going to come up out of raising. And then he's going to use the Violet to pitch a Ghost and draw 1. It kind of sucks that that Violet doesn't suspend, because then he doesn't get to do the emblem. But he'll evo for 2 into the Bakemon. Bakemon's effect, trash a card in hand and delete a level 4 or lower. So he's going to delete the Magnamon, which is completely fine because I already have one in my stack, so it's not really the end of the world that it doesn't get absorbed at the end of start of my turn. Then he'll go into the Phantommon for 3. Phantommon does not have execute, so it's just going to sit there. I will draw. Oh, that one doesn't execute, but he does not attack. So I draw and absorb my last Drazel. Now, I like this Sistermon because it allows me to have some D-Digivolve, which this deck doesn't really have access to. I play the Last Guardian, I grab the Cool Boy for sure, and then we grab the Omnimon X. Bot the rest, and then we will gain 3 memory from my inheritables. Here I'm just explaining how the memory gain works. Because I did place a option card with a Royal Knight trait to the battle area. We swing with CL. We Digivolve 1 because it got suspended. And then we check a Bakemon and do die, unfortunately. We pass turn here by paying 3 for the normal Drazel and then drawing 1. He will draw for turn, hatch a Demi-Meramon. Thinking on the start of main, he'll pitch a Bakemon to draw 1. Now he's going to go into the Ghostmon in the back for 0. Plays a Violent Boost for 3, the one that gives the body's Rush, which is actually insanely good. He's actually going to use the fact that he can give it Rush here in a second. He'll evo into a Ghost, into a Phantommon for 3. He'll suspend it to give it Rush, which doesn't really matter too much, but it does pop the Banquet emblem, which will then allow him to evo for the cost of 3 less. He'll go into Necromon for 1. Necromon is going to get to execute at the end of turn. He will swing 14k, and it will die on the first check. He will gain 2 memory from his inheritables, and then he gets to grab a Ghost. He'll grab Necromon, and then he has, I believe, 2 inheritables on deletion to play a Digimon. So he'll play the Phantommon and the Ghostmon. That one will just give the Phantommon blocker. And then it is my turn now. I'll draw for turn. And then we'll play the Jesmon for 2, play out a token, and then get to pop an 8k or less. So we're going to delete the Phantommon. And then on deletion, he gets to play a Bakemon, which I did not know it had that on deletion. So I didn't realize it was going to float into another body, which is not ideal, but I at least had to get rid of something. I think about a way to pass turn here. I'm going to suspend both of his Digimon to play Medieval for 7. I'm going to use his effect to blow up the Bakemon, and then it's going to Vortex into the Ghostmon for no checks, but it does clear his board. So he'll draw for turn. My token will reboot. He promotes the Ghostmon and is going to pitch a Candlemon to draw 1 from the Violet. He's going to use the effect to evo into a level 5 into a Phantommon by putting the Bakemon from trash underneath, which is actually very good. I completely forgot that you could do that. He plays a Soul Banquet for 3, plays a Ghostmon, searches the top 3. He's going to grab a Ghost and a Liberator, so he'll grab the Bakemon and the Candlemon and bot-tech the rest. And then I'll use the effect. I'll suspend the Ghostmon, and then I will blow up the stack with the Medieval effect. And then he will gain, I believe, 2 memory. Either 1 or 2 memory from that, and then he gets to grab a Ghost again. So he does grab the level 5. And then he gets to play out the Ghostmon from the undeletion of the Phantom. And then he will end up getting to search here. He looks at the top 3 again. He'll grab the Banquet as the Liberator, and then the Ghost will be the Phantommon. He'll use the same effect again to Evo into the level 5. Which, again, amazing ability that he can just do that. He gives the body Rush, and then he's going to use the Banquet to Evo for a cost of 3 reduced. So he goes into the Necromon for 1. He's going to delete a level 6, so he's going to delete the attempt to delete the Jesmon, but I popped the token to keep it alive. And then he will execute because the body now has Rush, and then he'll hit a Omegamon and a Alphamon, which he does die, but it doesn't matter because he's going to die anyway. Gains 2 more memory, and then gets to do some more effects to grab some Digimon out. He's going to play the Ghostmon to look at the top 3 again, more searching. Grabs the Necromon for sure. I believe he grabs the Necromon here. He has a couple of decisions. He grabs the Necromon and the Violet. And I don't know if he has any more. Oh yeah, he gets to play something off the Necromon on deletion. Man, this deck really just kind of swarms the board, which is not really the best for me with Royal Knights because I can't really do much about it. And he passes in turn by playing Violet. I will absorb my Jesmon. And then reduced for 2, we're going to play the new Jesmon. And we're thinking on the medieval. We'll suspend the 5, and then we're going to delete the Ghostmon here. Now I do get to swing for 2 checks. So we swing when attacking, we get to play out the token. And then we'll alliance with the token for 2 checks at, I believe, 18. So we do survive both checks. We even go over the level 7. Play Purge for 6, draw a card. Then we're going to load the Alphamon underneath Drazel, and then gain 3 memory from my inheritables to put him at as 3. Then we'll Vortex into the Ghost, so that he only has the level 5, because I didn't want him to go into anything else there. Hatches the Damermon once again, pitches Bakimon to draw 1. He'll gain a memory from the Violet, because I have a Digimon on the field. Now I've kind of tried to set up some defense here, because I know that he can easily get into some big bodies here. For example, Evo's for 6. He'll delete my medieval with the Duhalamon effect, and then he will get to execute. So he's going to swing into the... I believe he swings in the Jesmon, which that's fine. So he hits a Last Guardian, so I get to play a Cool Boy or a Mechamon from hand or trash. I don't remember if we have one or not in the trash. Yeah, we do play the Omegamon. Then, since I have 1 or fewer security, we'll do the on-play. And then we get to go into the Omnimon X. I think I'm just explaining to my opponent how this effect works. So when that happens, I get to we both choose 1 Digimon, or I choose both, or 1 Digimon each. So I believe I pick the token and the Duhalamon. And then I will use the Last Guardian to keep it alive. And then we will bottom deck the Duhalamon so he can't get his on deletions. It was my turn. I will draw, and then I will use the Last Guardian to keep the Omni X alive, because this will allow me to have game here. We think about popping the Purge, but we just play Last Guardian, look at the top 3. This is just kind of see if we can get anything else. I got an Omnimon just in case I don't win this turn. Gain 3 memory from my inheritables. Then I'm going to swing with a token for 6k 1 check. It does die. Swing with Omnimon X. We do live, and then we pass with Cool Boy, and then we end of turn rush swing for game. So we do end up taking game 1. My opponent does go first for the second game. He's going to go into the Ghostmon for 0 memory. And he's kind of do the same thing where he's going to set up the Violet. But it's not the memory setter exactly, but it is the one that gives rush, so that's pretty much going to accelerate his game plan a lot more now. We hatch Absorb and then play a Cool Boy for 4 memory, just so I can choke him to 1. He draws for turn. He sits in the back here, and is just going to play the other Violet to put me to my 3. I will draw, absorb my Drazel. Now see what Royal Knight we'll start with first. Start with the Last Guardian to search the top 3. We do reveal 2 Alphamons, so I know that I probably won't see that for the rest of the game. But to the bottom, grab the Leopardmon. And since we are reduced by 6, we'll play Leopard for 1. Gain and draw from the Cool Boy. Use its effect to play out the Omegamon, the Leopardmon. and then we'll pay 3 for Drazel, tuck it underneath, and draw a card. So now I have a blocker, and then if he leaves the battle area, I get to gain 2 memory, but only if the Omegamon leaves the battle area. If Lebermon does, I don't get the effect, which kind of sucks. But I really just like this card because it does play the Omegamons from hand. Start of main, he trashes the Bakemon to draw 1. He does promote the Ghostmon up 2. He's probably going to do some pretty needed aggression right here. He'll use the effect to tuck Bakemon and then go into the Phantomon for 3 memory. He will draw there. If that card had execute, it actually would be so good. Evos for 6 into the Dullahamon. Effect, he's going to blow up the Leopardmon. I'll lose 4 from Overflow. Then we get to use the effect of the Cool Boy to play an Omegamon because Royal Knight was deleted. He swings. I believe he does Pierce for 2 checks. He does live both. And then execute, end of it, he will delete himself. He'll gain 2 memory. Then he will do the thing. He grabs the level 7 from the trash, and then he's going to play the Ghostmon, which is going to give itself blocker. And then he does get to play another Digimon out from the level 7 effect, which technically he would be able to because it's not in trash anymore, but he could decide to do it in a different way so it would work. He plays the Bakemon, deletes the other Digimon to delete my Omegamon, and then it has Rush, so he'll swing for a check. Hits the last Guardian. I don't get anything off of that because I don't have anything in the trash. But it's not like the worst thing in the world. Then he'll play a Training for 2, grab the level 3, and then bottom deck the rest. It was my turn at 2. I do forget to absorb, which doesn't really do too much, but it does mean that I don't have another Drazel to use here. We play the Gallantmon. I'm going to delete his level 4, and then he cannot play Digimon from the trash until his turn ends, which is a very good counter to this deck. I have 2 of them in here, and I only saw 1. We do play the Magnamon for 7 memory, which in hindsight I don't think was a very good idea. I draw 1, and then he can't bot deck my Gallantmon, which doesn't matter because he is not going to do that in the first place. He does go into the Candlemon for 0. He'll play the Ghostmon for 3. And then he's going to use the effect of the Phantomon again to go into the level 5. And we're here sitting and thinking about whether or not he could use the training and the effect at the same time, but he can't. So he'll Evo for his 3 memory into that. Now he's going to use the training to go into the Duhula, whatever the fuck that card is called, Duhalamon for 4. And then he's going to delete my Gallantmon. And then he'll get to swing, because he is going to give it Rush. Swing for 2 checks, blow up the Magnamon. Then he deletes himself, gains some memory like usual, and then he's going to grab the level 7 from the trash, but he does not get to play anything else out because of the Gallantmon. We hatch our final Drazel, which we should have done last turn. So we are reduced by a good amount here. I am at 1 memory, which is not ideal, but we get to play the Drazel out because I have 6 or less sources, or 6 or more sources. And we play the Exomon, draw 1, gain 1. Effect, we will have the Drazel suspend to give it Rush. We'll suspend all Tamers with the effect of Exomon, and we get to swing. We'll swing for 2 checks. We hit 2, and we actually hit an option. So after the option gets hit, it gets placed to the field, and then we get to delete it, and then we get to delete a suspended Tamer. So we will delete the Rush Violet, so he does not get Rush anymore, which is very beneficial for this point of the game, since I do not have any security. And then we get to reboot from the Drazel effect given to Exomon. So now I have a 15k blocker. He will pitch a Bakemon to draw 1, go into a Bakemon for 2. He'll use that effect to play out a Violet because he has 1 or fewer Tamers. Goes into the Phantomon for 3. This is the one I believe that has execute. So he's going to try to execute into security for game. I do block with the Exomon, so it does die. He'll gain a memory. And then he does get to play Digimon out now, since the effect of a Gallantmon does not exist anymore. I think he grabs the 5 there, and then plays the Ghostmon so that he can do the Warp play again. That will gain blocker. He will suspend the Violet to Evo for reduced cost. He goes into the Bakemon for 0. Bakemon does not get its effect because there's no level 4s in the field. Yeah, he plays a training for 2, and then he'll grab the level 4, bot deck the Necromon. I will unsuspend. We will go underneath. The Xmon will go underneath Drazel. We will play the Jesmon for 2, gain and draw from the Cool Boy. It does have Rush anyway, so I don't give it with the effect of Drazel. We swing, Alliance with the token after playing it out. Hit Calling to the Darkness, gets added to the hand. Then we hit a Banquet, so he does get to play the Violet, the Rush Violet from his hand, I believe. Or hand or trash. How to pass turn here. We play the Last Guardian for 4. Look at the top 3. We grab the Omekamon off of that, just so we have a blocker in hand if he ends up trying to delete the Royal Knight. Gain 3 memory from my inheritables. We swing with the Drazel to try to chip at him. I don't have a game, sadly, but I do play a Magnamon again for 7 memory. I don't know why I continue to do that this tournament. I think it was to get more blockers, but I think it was just kind of a dumb idea. I should have given Drazel, had Drazel give the effect to Jesmon, but he does hatch. He'll gain a memory because I have a Digimon, and then I don't. Yeah, he's going to trash the Bakemon to draw a card with the Violet, go into the Candlemon in the back for a 0. Now he does not get to warp, but he does get to evil, just go into it for 3 anyway. He plays the Ghostmon for 3. He'll evo into the Phantommon for 1 memory using the training. And then he will give the other one Rush, so now he's got 2 bodies that can attack this turn. Kind of scary, kind of really scary. He'll use the effect to warp into Phantommon again from hand for 3. He'll draw, so now he has 2 bodies up. He's going to pop the Banquet to go into the Necromon for 1. He does not draw. I think he misses a couple draws this game, but I don't think it really mattered that much. He goes in the dual Halomon for 6. He's going to execute. Try to execute for a game. He's going to blow up the Magnamon, which is fine, because I'm going to play the Omekamon from hand because he deleted Royal Knight. And then we're going to do the same Omnimon play. I'm explaining him the effects. He'll go down, and I'll send everything to the bottom of the deck in the trash, so he ends up just scooping. So we do end up taking the game 2-0. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this content, make sure to like and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.